everyone, it's Imogen and welcome back to Colouring Kid. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video I wanted to share with you all of the pictures that I've completed in the month of April, and because the first couple of weeks of April were my school holidays, I did have quite a lot of time to be able to colour, which was lovely. So I do have quite a few pages to share with you, so this might be a bit of a longer video. But before I share with you my pictures, I do have a picture that my grandma completed, which I will insert here for you. So this was a picture I drew quite a while ago, inspired by Joanna Basford's House Draw Inky Wonderland book, and you can actually still find this on my website. If you want to find it, you can go onto my blog posts and it should be there on one of them. I always put a link to my website in the description of my videos, and although I haven't been active on there recently, all of the posts are still up, and I think she coloured it beautifully. I really like how it turned out, and I think she used the Faber-Castell Black Edition pencils again, which, for any of you that don't know, they are a 36 set that are meant to be more opaque than some of their other pencils, and I think they're brilliant. I also have two pictures to share with you that my mum has coloured. So she finished her fox picture from last month. This was a card that I gave to her, which is the company Whisk, and Joanna Basford collaborated with them. And basically in the card you get the front cover card, which is this fox one, and then also one that you tear off, which is the rabbit here. And you get two designs, and there are quite a few different ones from her various books. And I think this was a whip when I shared it with you last month, but yeah, my mum's now completed it, and she used Holbein's for this, and she really enjoyed using them, and I think it turned out wonderfully. I think she said these are probably her favourite pictures in terms of her shading and her improvement. And this is the rabbit, again she used Holbein's, and she wanted to try and use colours that were fairly similar to each other just so that they went together, and she now has them up in the sitting room, and I think she did such an amazing job, and I'm so pleased she enjoyed colouring them in, because I loved personalising the card for her. So they are now going to go back into the sitting room. And before I show you the various books and things, I do have a PDF that I have coloured. This is a free colouring you get when you do the link in Worlds of Wonder in Joanna Basford's book, and I have heard that some people have been having issues with that and, you know, trying to find the PDFs. When I inputted the link, I had to put my email address in and then scroll down to the bottom of the page to find these PDFs. I'm not sure if she's going to be releasing them in any other way, but I'm not really sure how to help those of you that can't find it. But yeah, this is exclusive to the Worlds of Wonder launch. And I think this was a whip when I shared it with you last month. I had started it, I think I'd just done this top section here, and yeah, I completed it. So I did use markers. I've got the touch-free markers, I think it's an 80 set or something like that. And one of the best things about this that I enjoyed was actually blacking out the background, because it was really therapeutic. I used a black marker but also black fine liner to go in with some of the smaller areas. And I didn't do any shading with pencil apart from these purple pink flowers, because I didn't like how the blend had turned out with the darker and lighter marker, because they were very different in tone. They didn't really work very well together. So I did smooth it out with some pencil, but everything else is just blending with the markers themselves. And I didn't feel the need to put any embellishments on. I really like how it is. And yeah, this is going to go into my folder where I keep my PDFs, and I really enjoyed doing it. So you kind of count this as a page I've completed from Worlds of Wonder, although it's not actually in the book. And this colour palette was inspired by Shelley on Instagram. I'll put her Instagram name up here for you. And I just thought that the colour palette she did for a particular page, I think it was in Twilight Garden, it was just absolutely amazing, and I wanted to try and replicate it. So yeah, thank you Shelley for the inspiration. And this is printed on De La Roni smooth heavyweight paper in A4. I absolutely love that paper. So I have two whips to share with you that I'm hoping to continue with or complete in May. So I have one firstly from I Believe in Fairies by Clara Markova, and the one I'm working on at the moment is this one. So I started it this month and I just haven't gone any further with it yet. I was hoping to get it completed, but I didn't get to it. So far I've used Holbeins on this, and I've also done a base of fine liner, all of this pink. And my aim for this picture, postcard, is to just try and stray away from doing my usual colour palette, because I've found that recently with these spring ones, I really like how they've turned out individually, but I'm starting to see a pattern of using the same sorts of colours, you know, the same green, pinks, purples, and I just want to try and do something a bit different and out of my comfort zone. So I'm going to try with this and just see what I can do, maybe use a few brighter tones here and there, just to give a bit of variation, I guess. And yeah, as I said, I used Holbeins, and I don't usually use them for skin tone either, so it was good to use them on that. And the reason I really liked this one is because these lollies remind me of the French lollies that we always get when we go to France, and so I'm going to try and make them look like those. So yeah, I'm thinking of maybe doing a blue background, because I haven't done a light blue background yet. I've only done dark ones. So I'll see how that turns out. If I don't get to it this month, that's fine, but it's here if I want to work on it. So yeah, that is one of the whips that I have. I actually do have another whip in Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, but I'll show you that at the end. The other one that I have is from the Disney Dreams Collection, Thomas Kincaid Studios colouring book, and the whip that I have is this page. So this one has been a whip since about June or July time, I want to say, last year, and I hadn't really come back to it, and I'm really pleased that I have now, because it's really given me that motivation to continue with it. I also came back to it during a live stream, which again made it easier to do it, because I don't know, something about doing things on videos gives you that push to, you know, do the picture. So I think I was working on this bottom section during the live stream, and the next morning I did go back in and do this darker area here, and it does take a while. So I'm really pleased with the progress I've made so far. I'm aiming for this month to complete Cogsworth. If I do that, I'll be really happy. But I do have exams in the first half of this month, so whether I get to everything I want to, I'll see. But yeah, if I could just get that finished, that would really make me happy. And then I think I'll just take it in stages. You know, 1 month I'll do maybe the front section of the stones, and then the back, and just work on bits here and there. So yeah, that's the page that I'm working on, and these are the format of the posh colouring books. So if you have the Inspired by Nature book by Marjolaine Bastin, or you know, any of the posh colouring books, they're in the same format, and it's so thick. So I absolutely love this book, and it's good to finally get back into this. So now onto all of my pictures. Just as a side note with hashtags, I've realised in recent videos that I have been listing so many hashtags, because for my pictures I try and, you know, join as many as I can, and sometimes there are loads for one picture. So I'm just going to name ones that come to mind if I remember, but lots of them are just lots of the hashtags go for lots of my pages anyway, and the ones that I do post on Instagram, I put all of the hashtags there already. But yeah, I hope that's all right. The first page I have is from the Ink House by Rory Dobner. This was a buddy colour with the lovely Effie from Effie Colours, and we actually did 2 buddy colours this month, but this was the second buddy colour if we had time to get round to it, because it's just a quick picture, and we both did, which was lovely. So this is Louis the Dachshund, and I think this is such a cute picture. I've really enjoyed doing it. You know me, I love my central images, and I think I just used Prismacolor for this page. Lots of the shading was already there for me already, because Rory Dobner does do that a lot. It's kind of grayscale in the sense that there is a lot of shading there already, which is such a lovely colouring experience. So yeah, just Prismacolor. And then embellishments are white gel pen and the Jelly Roll clear glaze on the window panes, and I do find that if you really want it glossy, you have to do 2 layers. I never used to do 2 layers, and I'm really pleased that I've started doing that now because it just works so much better. And I also used a green fine liner to go over all the ivy because there was loads of shading on the ivy already, and then I used a tiny bit of pencil here and there, but mostly it was just a layer of fine liner because I thought the shading was good enough already that it still made them look detailed and have some depth to them. So yeah, that's that one, and I think he's so cute, and it was fun trying to do some sort of fur, even though the fur was, you know, the texture was already there for me. So yeah, that's that one. It's wonderful to get back into colouring that book. I then have a small motif from Seasons by Hannah Carlson, and I have been saying in my past couple of what's in my colouring bag videos that I wanted to get to this book, and I did. I didn't get to a full page, but I did manage to just do a small one in here. And this one was using polychromos and a few Holbeins, but I liked layering up with the polys because it's something that I don't usually do, and I really like the ochre colours that I have in that set. And embellishments were just a Jelly Roll Gold Metallic gel pen and also an Arteza white gel pen. So yeah, it was just a really quick, fun one to do. I didn't really feel the need to go crazy with colours because I wanted to keep it really minimal. So I'm not sure whether the next page I do will be the nameplate or whether I'll try and do one of the summer pictures because we are heading into summer now. But we'll see. I'll try and get round to one at some point if I can, but it's such a lovely book and I'm glad that I've made a start in it at least. So yeah, that's the small picture that I've done from Seasons. I also completed another Hannah Carlson page, and this is from Tales from the Forest Kingdom. Well, that's what it translates to. This is the Swedish edition. I don't believe there are plans for this to come out in Dutch, which would have been my preferred book, just because I love the paper in Dutch editions. But nevertheless, it's a gorgeous book, and I love the front cover. So the one I completed was this one, and this was for the Mice and Moles colour along hosted by the wonderful Valentina at Universe Art, and I really enjoyed doing this. The thing that I had a bit of a struggle with to begin with was the background, because it's very smooth paper and I was using pastel and it didn't go down that well because there wasn't much tooth for the pastel to hold on to, and it is chalk pastel, which is quite difficult to work with sometimes. So it was looking a bit flat, so I went over with Holbeins and just added some shading, and I'm happy with it now. And I tried to do a fairly limited colour palette. I wanted the mushrooms to be a different colour. I didn't want to just go for red or brownish ochre colour like I usually would. I wanted to make them look a bit more magical, so I went for this pink sort of colour with chestnut, especially in the Prismacolors. And so I tried to then do a darker version of it for the mouse, and everything's Prismacolor apart from the actual fur of the mouse. I used the Black Edition Faber-Castell pencils for that because they are what I had to hand at the time and I wanted to test them out. So yeah, there's that one. I use quite a few embellishments actually, and that's what was the really fun part. I have the Calero metallic paints on all of the dots and the stars on the mushrooms, and also on the green bits here. And then I've used the Stabilo metallic purple marker, the gold Jelly Roll metallic gel pen again, and also a Pentel green metallic gel pen. So quite a lot of metallic stuff. I didn't put any glitter on this because, again, I don't feel like I needed it. I don't put everything in terms of embellishments on all of my pages. I kind of pick and choose depending on the book, but also depending what I think would suit the page. So that's that one. And also because it's a bit of a smaller book, it didn't take quite as long as her normal size books would. So there's that one. I then have a whip which I've completed, and this is from Luna by Maria Troll. So this is a Dutch edition and it's got lovely thick paper. and I'm using my limited colour palette in this, and this is the one that I completed. So this has been a whip for a couple of months now, and it didn't really bother me that it was a whip because I would just come back to it when I wanted to. And I wouldn't say it's my favourite out of all of the pages that I've done so far, just because I was struggling to think of different colours to do for the leaves, because I didn't want it to just all be green. And actually, if you go to the back, they tell you all of the different types of flowers and plants and things, and there was only one flower on this page, and as you can see, they're only there. So yeah, it was difficult trying to come up with my own colour palette and think of what I could do with the limited amount of colours I had. But I was pleased in the end with how I thought of doing the different coloured leaves down here. I love the fox, and the water, actually, I quite like that. So it's not my favourite colour palette overall, but I think it does go quite well with this left hand page, just because I've pulled across some of the colours from here, you know, the purples, the pink colour, the brown. So yeah, I'm happy with it, and it's a framed picture, which I always like. And then I'll be moving on to these ones hopefully. So I'm taking this fairly slow, but I'm just coming to these pictures when I feel like doing them. So yeah, we have Luna by Marie Troll. I'm just going to have a sip of water. My throat's been quite croaky lately. Not really sure why. I think it's just I've been talking quite a lot. Okay, so the next book is Po Drugier Strony Snoo. I know I've said that wrong, I apologise. This is by Karolina Kupakowska, and this was a new book that I got this month. I purchased it from the lovely Susie from At Susie's Cottage. I mentioned it in a previous video. She has a Facebook page where she's selling lots of her colouring supplies to raise funds to buy a new pet, which is so exciting, and I wanted to support her, and I have seen this book around a lot and I didn't know where to get it or if you could anymore, and she had it, so I did purchase it from her along with these polycolour portrait pencils. So I'll be showing these in more depth in my haul, but I thought I would just share these with you because I have coloured a page with them. So these are lovely, and you can find them on Amazon, and it's a lovely selection of colours. I've really enjoyed using them so far, so I'd really recommend those. So on to the pictures that I have completed. I've done 2 in here this month, which is quite unusual for me. So the first one is this one, and this was the first one that I did, and it was a quick one for me to do because I wanted something to just test out what the book was like, and something that wouldn't involve too many different colours. So for this I just had, see, the pinks and the greens, and for this I did a different technique which I have done before, but I did a base of soft pastel and then went over with the pencil, which makes for a quicker colouring experience, definitely. If you haven't tried it yet, I'd really recommend it because it's like putting down a marker base, except it's not quite as harsh as that, it's a bit more subtle, but it saves time having to do it with a pencil instead. And I then also used the pastel for the background, and I went over with the Jolly Roll Metallic gel pen again to just add in some dots. I wanted it to look quite, well, I didn't want it to look planned, I kind of just wanted to put them everywhere. So I had fun doing that. And I think I used polychromos for this. Again, unusual that I would just use one pencil brand. We have that one, and then the other one I've done, as I mentioned, was done with the polycolour pencils almost exclusively, apart from a couple of pencils, and I did start this on a live stream, and I had a lot of fun with this one again. I liked adding in the strands of hair. I was going for more of a tanned skin tone for her. I was testing out the new pencils, and I'm not sure if you can see, but there's an ochre colour that I've used quite a lot, and a bit of pink for her cheeks as well. But yeah, this one was pretty much done with the polycolour pencils. Again, I used the soft pastels a bit for various background elements and the leaves and the flowers, and then went over with pencil. And in terms of embellishments, I have quite a lot of different metallic gel pens. I have the Uniball ones, they're the new ones that I've got, a Pentel green one, the Jelly Roll Gold again, and yeah, that is that page. Not one I would have necessarily done, but it was kind of in the moment page that I was really pleased to do, because when I was doing the live stream, people really liked this page, so I went for that one and pleased with how it turned out. So these really don't take that long, because lots of the shading again is there for you already, and yeah, I'm really pleased that I've managed to do those 2 pictures in here already. So that is by Carolina Cooper Kowska. I'll just hold that up for you, and there is now an English edition. If you go to her website, it's hardback, and yeah, it's an English edition. It's slightly different, but the shipping is quite reasonable as well from Poland, so I'd really recommend looking there. I haven't got any of her other books, but they are all on there and they're beautiful. So we then have Flowerscape, and again, I've done quite a few pages in here. The main purpose that I was colouring them was for the review, and then I have done another page and I'm going to be doing another one. So the pictures that I have done in this first bit are all together. So we have the daffodil, and then this bouquet of daffodils and trumpet flowers, because I then also coloured the trumpet flowers here. So for these pages I used Holbein pencils, and I did use reference images to search them up. The trumpet flowers, there were quite a few different types, but I wanted to do ones that looked interesting to me and I thought I could, you know, try and replicate. And I really like the style of these pictures, the way that Maggie Anterios has done the single flowers and then put them into a bigger image. And these aren't anywhere near the most detailed pictures in the book, but I thought it was good to start small and work my way up. So yeah, we have these 2. I didn't put any embellishments on, no glitter or anything like that. I like them how they are, and that's probably what I'll do for other pictures in the book as well. And then this double spread is one that I haven't completed yet, obviously because I haven't done the right side. This is a buddy colour with the lovely Michelle, and I have done this flower so far, the Stargazer Lily, and this page is all Stargazer Lilies and then just the bees as well. So I've already got the pencils picked out, which is good, so I don't have to worry about that. And I've put them aside, and I'm using Arteza pencils. So I've been trying to test out different brands as well, and the paper is amazing. So this colour palette is one that I am really liking, because it's not one I would usually go for. Obviously it's quite bright, but I wanted to try and make them look as close to the actual flower as possible. And then I also felt like there needed to be more dots added in the middle, so I went over with 2 Arteza fine liners, the Inconic fine liners, and added my own dots. So yeah, that was fun to do as well. So I'm really looking forward to doing this page. It obviously will take a lot longer because there are multiple flowers on this, but I think it will be fun to colour them, and I don't have to worry about new colours because they're all the same flower. So yeah, looking forward to doing that at some point. So that's Flowerscape by Maggie Anterios. We then have Worlds of Wonder by Joanna Basford. I have a page in here that I've completed, and one that I'm also planning to do as a buddy colour. So the picture I have completed was also a buddy colour as well. This was with Jill, the lovely Jill, and I haven't written my name in yet. I don't know why, I think I forgot, but this one I just used Prismacolor on with some Staedtler fine liners, and again, it's unusual that I would just use one brand, but I wanted to have a go and try and use the pencils differently than I normally would. I didn't want to just go with colours that I knew. I wanted to try and bring in some other ones as well. So the yellow ochre and the darker pinks, and especially this green colour that I used. I think it was jade green and celadon green or something, but I didn't want to just do a normal green that I'd go for, you know, a bright one or the really muted pale ones. I wanted something in between that looked a bit blue as well. So yeah, it was fun trying to place where all the colours would be. I think that was the trickiest bit, because I didn't actually have that many colours, and just trying to find different places to put them that would work was quite challenging. The only other thing I did use was one of these the brush sign pens, the Pentel ones, and I used one in brown, which was a new colour that I got, just to do a base on this frame, and then I went over with the brown as well. So yeah, the pencils worked really well on the paper, and I did use a blender pencil for the background, but apart from that I just blended the pencils. So that is that page. Okay, so got a couple more pictures to share with you. I have a picture from Symphony of Cute Animals by Kaneko Igusa, and I was so happy to get back to working in this book. The one that I've done was also a buddy colour with Effie, and also for her colour along, which was Excited for Easter. And this was again done with all Prismacolor pencils, and the thing I have always struggled with the Prismacolors is doing gold mainly, so it was good to try and come up with a colour palette for the gold. And also, as I said before, just to try and think of new ways of colouring something green, or you know, the purples here. And for lots of these flowers I did use reference images. I didn't want the poppies to be red, I wanted them to blend in with the other colours I'd already picked, so I did find some poppies that looked like those. I used my stencil background for the background, so I just used soft pastel and went over with a couple of different pinks. I wanted a background that was a colour that was already on the page that would still fade in, fade in. I still wanted the actual pencil work to be the foreground. So yeah, that is that page, and I think the thing that I am pleased with most is probably the fur of the chicks, because I am still quite new to fur, but I really enjoy doing it. And I also used a Jelly Roll Metallic gel pen, Ivory Posca, and other metallic gel pens for the embellishments. So again, because this is a smaller book than traditionally Kaneko is known for, it didn't take quite as long to colour, and I did get it done just in time for Easter, which was good. So that is my picture from Symphony of Cute Animals by Kaneko Igusa. The penultimate page I've done is from Circle of Life by Melpomene Chatsapanegitu, and it is this one. And this was a buddy colour with the lovely Shannon. And for this page, I just used exclusively the Brute Funa or Brute Funner pencils, however you say it. This one I did partly on a colour and chat tag, which was the colouring habits tag. I was colouring this part, and I thought that they performed amazingly. I really love those pencils. I was sent them by the lovely Sue, and I just think they're amazing. I would really recommend them. They are fantastic. So the embellishment that I used on top of this was a clear Jelly Roll Metallic, no sorry, not a metallic, a Stardust, the Jelly Roll Gold Metallic, Arteza White gel pen, and also some other metallic gel pens. And then I used a Pentel Hybrid Dual Metallic glitter gel pen that's pink but with green glitter, and I put them on top of the tree leaves, but it comes up green, which I like. And that's actually the thing that I was trying to work on most with this, is how my layering changed the overall outcome of the picture. So for the acorn top, I did a base of green, but then the brown over the top, and the green still comes through. And for these leaves, I did bases of pink and then went over with the green. And similarly, the pink still comes through, which I thought was quite fun to do. I wanted to do something different and not just do more green like the green I already had on the picture. So yeah, another fun one. I loved doing this one. It was so much fun. And you know, it's all enclosed. I knew where the background was going to go. And it did take me quite a while, but that's because I was taking my time with it. And I really enjoyed that one. So that's from Circle of Life. And finally, I have a completed picture from Ivy in the Inky Butterfly by Joanna Basford, and the picture I've completed is this one. Now, I believe this was a whip from last month, and I took this one really slowly across the month and just completed it. This was inspired by Rika Colour. I did her frame idea for the background, and for this I just used Holbein pencils. I wanted to test myself and again just use one set, and yeah, I really like how it turned out. It's not something that I would usually do because I did use some brighter colours like these blues, and yeah, it was good to experiment and do something different because I didn't want the same colours to come from these spreads, because I didn't want to get into the habit of just using the same colour palette throughout the whole book. I wanted it to turn out a little bit different. So yeah, we have this one, and everything's Holbeins. Oh, apart from these leaves here were actually done with Castle Art pencils, and again I was sent them by Sue, which was just so generous of her, and I think they're amazing, and what better way to test them out than use them in a book that I absolutely love. And I think they really did perform well. I think they're great pencils, so I would recommend those as well. I will be sharing those in my haul in more detail. And embellishments, I used the Pentel Hybrid Dual Metallic Gel Pen again to add blue dots on top of the blue flowers. I think they're meant to be dandelions, but I did them blue instead. Also, another glitter gel pen on the purple flowers. The Jelly Roll Gold, a Jelly Roll Clear Stardust gel pen, and then on the butterfly I did a base of the Stardust Calero paint, which is a clear glittery paint, and then went over with the clear glitter gel pen. So yeah, quite a lot actually on that one. It's really fun to do though. And now I'm working on this one, so I'm using the same blue background that I have for the entirety of the book so far. I haven't done a blue background on every page, but when I do one, I like to use those colours, and lots of the colours from here will cross over. So for example, these flowers here are going to be the purple ones, these flowers here will be these purple ones, and I'll probably carry over this peachy purple colour onto these flowers and probably up there as well. So I'm going to try and see how I can make it look like a double page spread, but also use some different colours as well probably. I really like this page. This was one of my favourite ones that I did in the other book. So yeah, that is what I've done so far. And I'll just share with you the pages from my old copy of Ivy in the Inky Butterfly, just so that you can see a comparison between the two. Where are we? Here. So this was one of the last pages that I did in the book, and I do feel like I rushed it a little bit, which is why I'm glad I'm doing it in order. And then this is the page which I had done quite a while before, and I'm pleased now that I've done a different colour for the inside because it is quite bright. But yeah, that is the double spread. So I hope to have the width of this page finished by the end of May. So that's all I have to share with you. I hope you have enjoyed. This has been a bit of a longer video, obviously, because I had quite a few more pages to share with you. I'm not sure how many I will get done this month, but we'll see. And I don't have anything to update you on in terms of my artwork, because I'm just finishing stuff off at the moment and my books are here, there and everywhere. And I'm not doing any more of my reflections project because we are being told to go back and finish old things so that we have complete work to then put in our portfolios to give in for our GCSEs. So yeah, not really much to show you, but maybe when I have got everything back, which will probably be September, October time, maybe I can do a flip of everything that I've done, if you'd be interested to see that, but that's a while away. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, as always. I really hope you've enjoyed. Please stay safe and well, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.